Marissa and I took a stroll through the Wii U eShop recently and discovered a game called Roving Rogue. It's one of these 2D scrolling action-adventure type games with a really cool mechanic.
Yeah, well, there is a cool mechanic there, but there's also a really cool setup with the game because you actually start the game at the end of the game. You just defeat the final boss.
Right.
You do it so quickly and you're just looking at the screen like, huh?
Yeah.
Is there a glitch or something? How did that even happen? And then you realize that, okay, this guy has amnesia. He has no idea how we just killed the final boss.
Yeah.
So we've got to work backwards. We're working backwards through the levels to tell his story and figure out who he is, where he came from, and why he all of a sudden was able to do what he just did. So you are collecting little stories, little memories along the way.
Developers have to keep constantly coming up with new hooks and new ways to keep us engaged.
Yeah.
And what Padawan Games, the developers, did here is they gave you the ability to teleport, and that kind of turns the gameplay experience to something that's a little bit like 2D Dishonored in a way.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
You know
wow.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah, okay, because you really need to use that motion to your advantage. So even if you're in the air, you have to use the Y button and your joystick to move twice if you can, to get through pillars or up walls. You need to move quickly because in a lot of these levels, you have lava chasing you or like darkness.
Rocks that are falling in. There's a time component that you have to get to the end of the levels. You collect these little figurines, these little jade-type toys along the way, and you get starred on collecting all of those at the end of each level,
Incas.
which is cool. I actually really enjoyed this game until I didn't. Until the mechanics overcame me, until the constraints of having to pull these teleportations off so quickly became so frustrating, and it's directly attributable to the fact that you have 2 taps with your ability to go sort of a half teleport or a full teleport, and making that split-second decision while you've got lava coming up and you've got to hit some diagonal ledges and things like that. It's infuriating.
It's infuriating, especially moving diagonally.
Yes.
It almost never worked for me, and the game shows you that you can do it, so I want to do it, and I want to do it every time, but I promise you that I maybe did it once, so I knew that it was possible.
And you feel like a champion when you pull it off, and then you're like, oh, I got this, and then you really do not got this.
It's so true.
And you're just looking for the little flag, the little checkpoint marker, like, oh my God, I gotta get there. I just want to see what's next.
It's so funny that you're saying this because I swear to God I had the exact same thing happen
I think
to me.
everybody's going to.
I was playing this thing, I'm like, oh my God, this game is so fun. I love it so much. And then I died,
clever.
and I kept dying, I'm like, oh, put the controller down. I don't want to play you anymore, game. I'm done with you. I'm not gonna go back to it, unfortunately, because I kind of want to know this guy's story, but at this point, I've had it. I've collected a lot of his little friends, the little Incas, and I feel like I've uncovered almost nothing. Like, there's this book that you can go into to see his story, and I've gotten maybe one paragraph out of the whole book. It's just just tell me your story, man.
It takes its time as it's going through all that stuff. It's really the level design that's fun, but that teleportation is just too tough to get every single time. What are you going to give Roving Rogue?
Gets a 6.
I'm going to give it a 6.5.